Hello. Oh, we got some things to talk about today, my goodness. So I had a whole different video planned for today, and I decided to change gears because there's something else that's on my mind today, and that is the fact that I do not have any internet once again. So hold on, I have a point. We talk a lot on this channel about deconditioning from what's expected and what's norm. And one of the things that I try to talk to people about a lot is being mindful of the way you spend and consume and shop and like where your money goes, right? And how you earn. And so it feels very relevant for me to talk about this today because said major cell phone carrier that hosts my lack of internet joining capabilities charges me a significant amount for it every month, right? Oh no, the coffee has formed a strange little skin on the top layer, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Hold on just momentarily because I have to get that off before I drink it, and we're gonna do a little get ready together, so just hang tight. I am feeling it today. The second cup of coffee is very necessary because this morning I woke up to find out that our internet's been shut off, seemingly. I don't know, it's kind of hard to figure anything out when you don't have an internet service. And so, long story short, I've just been having like all kinds of problems with the carrier that we have for cell phone and internet. And being that I used to also work there, I kind of understand and know how these things work on like a different perspective, I guess. And so I've been diligently trying to work with them to come to some sort of resolution with it, because it's really frustrating to pay. You know, our bill ends up being over $300 a month. And part of that is phone payments, but not half of it. What are we even paying for? Anyways, so I have so many big beefs right now with the company, and I've been calling, and I am very patient and understanding because I understand that they can only do so much on their end. But from my end, I'm like, okay, what in the actual, like, I am paying over $300 a month to not be able to access the internet from my home. Does that not seem a little bit messed up? Like, what am I paying for exactly? And so I've been trying to work with the tech care team to figure out why. Why is it like this? It's not like I'm out in the sticks or in the boonies. I'm in a very urban area, so I just don't really understand what the problem is, to be completely honest. And I've, like I say, I've tried to be really patient about it, but this has been going on since December, and it's affected my work because I work from home a lot now. It's affected so many things. Like, I can't make phone calls from home. I can't use my internet. I can't do any kind of uploading from home. So I have to adjust my entire, kind of like workflow so that I can go somewhere to get internet so that I can do things. Like, what? I don't understand what I'm paying $320 some bucks a month for. I don't have the newest iPhone. I'm just like, what in the heck? And beyond that, they've really frustrated me with their app, as many companies have recently, with the ever-changing and updating terms of service and privacy conditions that you can't even read. They don't even share the terms with you, and you're supposed to just blindly agree to it. So, like, I mention these things because I try really hard to be mindful of it, but I feel as though I know that when I was working in that environment, there's a lot of people that just don't pay any mind to that at all. They just boop, 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 click, click, click through all of the things and they agree to everything and they pay no attention to what they're doing with their internet access devices. And it's frightening, quite frankly. It's very concerning to me. And so that is really like one of the toxic things that I try to have conversations with people around, because there are ways that we can, as a group, as a people, maybe try to make them understand that these big companies can really only push us so far with our privacy, right? Like, I have these same concerns with AI. And I'll be honest, I do use it a little bit because at first I was real curious about it. And I tried a lot of things out just to see kind of like what all the hype was and what it was all about. And then I started to hear things about the environmental impact of it. And, you know, the people would bring up points about the artistic thievery that happens from AI bots. And, you know, all good points, all really important things for us to consider, I think. And so I do consider that. It is difficult, right? Because in such a fast-moving online world where everyone is using AI, if you are going to be like a stubborn little purist about it, you're going to fall behind, right? And so it makes it kind of tricky in some ways, because I think it's probably true that there is no real ethical way to use AI with what we know now. And also, there is almost no way to avoid using AI in certain situations. Like, for example, when, gosh, this light is just, I'm not getting it right today. I'm trying my best, but it's just not, I don't know. It's very dreary out today, so I'm not getting a whole lot of natural light coming in like I normally do. Anyways, it's kind of hard to escape, right? Because all the companies are using AI for everything. So almost every website you try to use has some form of automatic AI happening. Like when you go to Google and you try to Google something now, it gives you the automatic AI summary. And so for me, what I've kind of arrived on is I use it minimally. And I know that's not a perfect solution. I try to reduce my use wherever I can and just use my brain. I love that for me. It feels nice to use my brain. I think other people should also keep that in mind sometimes, because I really hate it when I see some of the wasteful. And I try to tell myself, like, oh, maybe they just don't know, or maybe they just don't understand. But the more and more that it's being put out for everybody to know, it's like, okay, come on, you know. You know, you've seen it. You just don't care. And that's not really cool with me in my book. So that's what I have to say about AI. I try to use it as less as I can, as little as I can. And I've decided that for my own stuff, I'm still gonna use the photos and things that I've already generated for my business, because I've already generated them. I don't have to use the machines to do it again. So I might as well use it for something, right? But I'm definitely keeping my new generations of use in the AIs as minimal as I can try to do, like within my control. But anyways, I don't want to get off on a whole AI tangent, because what really frustrates me is the way that these big companies it's like they know. It's like they've spent a lot of money probably to understand how they can most frustrate us through their customer service processes. You know, meaning that they're wasting our time on the phone so that they don't have to waste their own talking to us, their customers. And to me, that's just like, okay. I don't like it, and I know why they do it. They do it for the bottom line. And so I've been thinking about, other companies, and it's kind of hard because they end up with like this monopoly on the communications industry. And there's just so very little you can do about it. Like right now I'm in a place where I'm still getting my credits for my iPhone 15. So, we have a little bit of a balance left to pay on that, and I don't like to give away free money that the company gives you. So for now, I'm kind of like locked in with them. But when it's all said and done, I'm really considering switching, because what happened today just feels so frustrating to me, right? So like I started telling this story and then I got distracted, as I often do. But I've been dealing with them over the phone a lot with Tech Hair because I've been having such problems with my service. And everybody is always really friendly, but they're always kind of reading from the same script. And I try to just patiently work my way through it, but it's always at least 30 minutes to an hour of time that gets spent going through the same script with a new care person. And so, each time I've thoroughly tried to make sure that I communicate that I want it on record in my file, put it in my notes, that I'm expecting a large credit at this point because I have been without service at my location since December. We're in March now, so that's many months. And it's not only been really frustrating, it's lost me work. It's caused problems for, jobs and interviews that I've been trying to seek income for myself so that I can pay for this bill that they send me every month. And I had thought I'd gotten a little bit behind on it. And because I was still working with them over the phone and they kept saying like, okay, we're going to apply this credit, I had set up a payment arrangement for the amount that was due, but I hadn't addressed the new month's amount coming up yet because I'm still waiting on them to issue this credit to my account. And I've talked to them about it at least 5 or 6 times, maybe more at this point. And they keep saying, oh, we want to take care of this for you. This is not the experience we want you to have. But I'm like, okay, well, everybody says that. And not anybody has actually fixed anything for me yet. And I'm frustrated, And it does give me compassion for the people that used to come into the store in such a rage, because it is frustrating. They give you the runaround and it's like they do it on purpose. But for myself, I refuse to succumb to that mental manipulation. I'm not going to let the cell phone company get my cortisol up, get my blood up, just because that's their customer disservice strategy. And they feed us such a line of PS about, oh, you're so important to us. I'm like, okay, well, act like it. If my business is just so important to you, then act like it. But they don't, because it's not. They know that they have a monopoly, and it's very frustrating. And so I do understand from like the asshole customer's perspective that comes in and used to just act like such turds to me when I was in an employee position there. I get it, but at the same time, like, be a grown-up. You have to self-regulate. Sorry, but you just like have to. That's called being an adult. You can't just go in. I mean, you can just go into a store and take it out on a customer service employee who shouldn't have to deal with your crap. But that makes you like a huge asshole. It really does. And I don't ever want to be a huge asshole. I try really hard to be kind and understanding, and patient is not always a word that you would use to describe me, because it's been a lifelong struggle for me with patience, but I do try. And I try to be understanding that the employees on the other side, like, they don't have a whole lot of control over it, but damn it, I'm getting really frustrated with not having any service. And then I'm pretty sure, well, no, I did eventually get a text message after the fact because they shut my service off. And I'm like, what? I had a payment arrangement set up. Like, I've already set up the payment for this. So like, why would you shut off my service? And not only that, but like, if you can send me a text message after you've shut off my service to let me know that my service is shut off, then why couldn't somebody have sent a text message before they shut off my service? Like, what? What is happening? And so I could choose to let myself fall down into a rabbit hole of rage, because I have a tendency towards anger when things like this happen. And it used to send me into like my own personal little rage that would occasionally spill out on other people. And I do regret that. But I think it happens to everybody at some point in time. You just get so mad at the situation, at the circumstances that the situation has created. Like today, I had a bunch of work to do. I had my schedule. That's why I found out this morning at 5 a.m. that I had no internet because I had gotten up early. I had a whole bunch of work that I needed to do. And I find out that I can't access any kind of service at all, not even like the slow, laggy, barely capable service that I'm used to being able to access, because they've shut it off with no warning or notification. So it is very frustrating, and it is like they do it to taunt us and to toy with us. I don't know why they would do that. But I'm definitely going to check out some other options. I've been hearing about a company called Noble that actually gives you money back on your bill for not using your data. I find that very intriguing. I find that to be a creative solution to a problem that I think a lot of us can see, which is, addiction to the screens and devices and this like 24/7 ability to access the web and be accessible. I think a lot of people can see that it's a problem, but we don't really know what to do about it, because here we are with these devices in our face, and they're configured in such a way to be able to capture our attention all the time, unless we actively choose different. And so that's essentially what I did this morning. I just chose different instead of letting this issue work me up into a rage, even though it is incredibly frustrating, because now all my work that I had planned today is pushed to tomorrow. And tomorrow's Friday, and I like to enjoy a date night in the evening with my partner. And now my work is going to go late tomorrow, which it is what it is. There are things that just need to get done, but it would be really nice if the companies that we pay so much money to every month would just consider us as valued customers and act as such, right? Like, I don't really think that that's asking for a lot, to think that maybe they could have sent me a text before just cutting off my service, especially because I had already set up a payment arrangement for this account. And I've been calling there every week to communicate with them about why my service is not working. So like, what? It's just so frustrating. And it shows up all the time. And to me, the only answer is, we've got to start taking our business away from companies like this. And I say that also knowing that I have been the one to cut off my own nose to spite my face many, many times. And so you have to be mindful. You can't just like get up in a rage and go down to the store and, that's not what I'm going to do. I spent my morning this morning baking bread and I watched Shrek on Blu-ray because I like to have a little bit of background noise and music on to get my mood up for the day. I could have let it just totally ruin my day. I could have stomped and stormed around my house and, let myself get all worked up in a tizzy and let my cortisol raise and hurt my own body, cutting off my own nose to spite my face. But instead, I baked some bread. I made myself a really good, healthy, anti-inflammatory breakfast. I sat and watched a movie while I ate that breakfast. I took notes the old school way without internet. And I'm recording a video for my channel that I'll be able to upload when I get to my alternative resource for internet that I've acquired for myself, which is a win in itself. So I'm celebrating that. But this is just what I wanted to share today, is that I'm proud of myself for getting myself to a point where, and I'm not even 40 yet. So I feel like I'm ahead of the schedule a little bit in some ways, because I almost kind of feel like your 30s is kind of your hothead era. That's where you like learn your boundaries and you learn how to start enforcing them, and sometimes that'll get you all worked up in a tizzy. Like for me, anyways, I know everybody's a little different, but for me, I would get myself worked up and get just so mad. And that's where it became really important for me to learn how to implement calm boundaries for myself. And working in the cell phone store was really a great patience trainer in that. And so instead of letting myself get all peeved off this morning, I did some really good self-care things. I'm having another cup of coffee. I've gotten myself ready to go for the day, because now I am going to need to go down to the store and figure out what needs to be done to get my service back on, because I can't just go about the day with no service. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how much they're going to end up needing to charge me today to get my service back on for us, but things have been just, a little tight. They've been a little tight. I've been just trying to be cautious with my spending, and I've been in a place of being kind of energetically blocked up on my earning. And that's a truth that is hard for me to say out loud, but I'm saying it anyways, because I do feel that I'm at a place now where I've cleared a lot of that up. And so I'm excited to just feel grateful for the income that I know is already on its way. And I don't say that in delusion. I say that knowing that I've already planted the seeds for my success. And I have all of these energetic practices in place now to keep myself grounded when things like this happen today. And it does sometimes get a little bit scary. It's so important in order to get through it, I think you just kind of have to stay grounded and move through it. And I do feel grateful, because I encountered so many people working in the cell phone store that would, they'd get to their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. A lot of these old people out here are the absolute worst at not being able to regulate their emotions around tough things. And you have to learn to do that. It's so important. And if you can't do that, you're just kind of allowing your body to be poisoned by stress over and over and over again, in addition to all the other poisons that we get every day, right? So again, I know, maybe you're sick of me saying it by now, but like, it's just true. That's all by design. I truly believe that there's something bigger at play that's challenging us as a humanity, as a collective people, to learn how to regulate ourselves better. Okay, fine. You want to be a hothead in your 30s and learn how to enforce your boundaries? Great. Maybe that's your journey and that's your path, and maybe you need that. But you better learn how to enforce calm boundaries, because if you're constantly letting that stuff get you all pissed off, you're just gonna always be pissed off. And that's ultimately, I guess, what I learned working in that cell phone store, is that if I can choose not to let it bother me, then I can move through it with a lot less damage to me and my body. And that's my point of the day today. Doing a lot of talking right now and not nearly enough coffee drinking. And I'm gonna have to get going now, because I'll need to be getting down there to that store so that I can get somebody to get customer care on the phone for me and figure out what we gotta do. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's, I don't have all the answers. I really don't. But I have a lot of answers, and I have a lot of tools, and I have a lot of resources, and I'm really, really excited to finally be in a place where I feel totally capable of helping other people see the path and walk it too. Because it's going to take more than just a few of us to create some kind of real change in the way that things are done, right? And ultimately, that's what I think so many of us want to see. I think if there's one thing that we can all agree on, probably it's that these big corporate companies are not helping us at all, really. They're truly hurting us in just so many ways and taking advantage of us, and also gaslighting us to think that they really are spending so much money to make us believe that they're for us, and they're not for us. They are not for us. Any tiny bit of research into the moves of your corporate cell phone carrier CEO will reveal much. Just go look at their interviews. The truth is usually out there somewhere if you care to go look for it. And I guess that's what I've been doing for the last few years, is just seeking out, the truth that I see in front of my eyes, so that I can show other people that it's really what I'm saying it is. I'm not just cuckoo crazy making all this stuff up. Like, they are taking advantage of us, and they're taking our money for the pleasure of all of this frustration, the runaround that they give us. It's not just the cell phone companies either. It's so, oh my gosh, it's so many companies. And I will say that I feel like sometimes I come on here and I do a lot of telling of what is wrong, and I'd like to shift that. I'd really like to shift that, because I also do see so much of what is right, and I see that there are a lot of companies out there that are doing things the right way. And so I think maybe for the next few videos, I want to share some things that I know that are great, and some resources and companies that you can really feel super good about shopping with and buying from, instead of not. Instead of feeling like, why am I giving you my hard-earned cash every month to cause me so much grief and problems? Yeah, I don't know. I think that my cell phone carrier is somebody else's insurance, is somebody else's health plan, is somebody else's doctor's office, all these places that are supposed to be in place to help us, and that does not seem to be the bottom line for them. The helping of the people is not what is showing up as important in their actions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Well, anyways, thanks for hopping on this kind of impromptu and a little bit chaosy get ready today. Have a coffee with me. I love a good cup of coffee. The feel-good chemicals for my brain are always helpful. Also, you can't watch Shrek and be angry, so that's just another little pro tip for calming your inner rage. Just enough that you're not being abusive to the customer service employees, because that's the balance, isn't it? That's the balance here, I guess. So I will talk to y'all on the next one. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and stay weird, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say besides stay weird, stay curious. There are better ways. We just have to seek them out and stop just blindly giving money to the companies that are, I'll say, too big for their britches, that they don't remember anymore that they're supposed to be serving customers. Like if my cell phone carrier's only job is to provide cell phone service to my location, then they're doing a pretty crappy job of that right now for the last 6 months. With that, I'm going to end this short little rant and let me know what you think. If you tell me about your carrier, who do you have for cell phone service? What have you found that has worked well for you? And what creative ways have you found to spend your dollars more smartly? Being an informed consumer. Tell me all about it. I really want to know. So let's open up that conversation. Have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, friends.